G'day guys, welcome to Rumble's Fish Room. So I've got no idea what today's video is about. I'm just doing a bit of skirting, painting at the moment, as you can tell by the paint on my face. I've got to get the skirting down in this corner ASAP Rocky because I want to move this fish tank back today. Now that's quite a mission considering it's like 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm only just putting coats on the skirting and the skirting has to be put down and I have to no more gap the skirting, let the skirting dry before I can move the tank back. So, wow, saying that out aloud, I don't think that tank's getting moved backwards today. Maybe. But I wanted to show you something, a bit of an appreciation to the automatic water change system. Alright guys, so if you didn't know, that pipe there, or that, it's a garden hose really, glorified garden hose, is my automatic water change system on this tank. So basically, there's a 4mm line, which is the feed, and it's inside the drain, and the drain is actually just the garden hose. It's a constant drip. I've got like a slow dripper here. That was actually a subscriber that gave me that tap, and it's a needle thread instead of like the ball valve. But basically, what the automatic drip does essentially is it avoids evaporation. So I woke up this morning, and normally this tank is silent, like it's the quietest tank I've ever had, if anything. And I can hear the water running, and it's just the fact that the weir is running a bit low. Basically because I've got a sponge here to stop small fish getting in there. The water level, when the water level drops on this weir suffers real bad. And that's one of the advantages of a constant drip. You never have to worry about evaporation. Alright guys, so it's like 40 degrees, not quite just yet, but it's getting hot. And I'm painting skirting, and you know, sometimes when it's really hot you get delusional, and I did contemplate this the other day, and then I thought, no, that's a stupid idea. Then today I'm like, well, let's go ahead. I'm going to glue that tank to that tank. So if anybody who watches the channel and doesn't know, I don't like tanks that are under 200 litres. I just don't like them. I like tanks to be over 200 litres, make the tank more stable, you know, like my words aren't coming out of my mouth right now to tell you what I mean, but anyway, so I'm going to join that tank to that tank, and also there is like millimeters, less than millimeters of a gap between the legs for these two tanks to fit. So if I actually take that back off and glue that tank straight to the side of that one, not only am I gaining 6mm, I'm also making this tank unsellable. And what do you mean by unsellable? Who's going to buy a 2.5 foot glued to the side of a 2 foot? No one. So anyway, let's make this tank unsellable. Alright guys, I got the camera on the new tripod. I still need to get, well, I've actually got one somewhere. I need to find the bracket for like the tilt up and down. At the moment this tripod's only flat. Is that the word? What's the word for not angled? Yeah, flat. So just a quick one guys, if you ever build a fish tank, can you please leave a 0.5mm silicone gap? Or I think not even 0.5mm, I leave about 1mm. Yeah, I can't get this tank apart basically because it's glued up tight. Kind of looking at the other ones, they're all the same. So we're going to have to take it, I'm going to try cut it without pulling it apart. So if you guys can go down here. Alright guys, so basically what we've got here, because I can't get this apart, I'm actually going to try and cut this here. And then this piece I can smash off. So I can't find my good glass cutter either, so we're using crappy cutter mixed with a tank that's built. I'm not cutting the glass on a flat surface. Nah, it didn't work. The only good thing is that cracked up there. I should be able to save the right size piece that I need still. Don't try this at home, kids. Alright, so I want to try and not crack that. Chances are slim. Kind of pretty much need to get that off as it is now, which I don't think I'm going to be able to do, because there's, you can see that, oh, there's a bit of a silicone gap there. Alright, I'm going to break this off. Trying to keep it all inside the tank because I don't want it on my lawn. I'm also trying to keep the top brace in place because I don't want to replace it. I might actually leave that corner on there while I glue it together. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. And then I'll take it off once it's glued on, because that way it will hold the top brace in position. Oh, almost cut myself. You know that feeling when it feels like you cut yourself but you look down, there's no blood? Oh. Alright, so that's good. The silicone's that old that most of it just came off. I need to go to Bunnings and get some paint too. I've run out of my paint. If anybody's wondering, the blue that I use is actually called Fun and Games. I think it's like Tubman's colour. Anyway, I don't know how I'm going to get this piece off yet. Damn it, guys, I tried to save it, and like as I got a blade under it, and the silicone's that tight, as the blade was going under, it actually wedged, and I was right near the end, and yeah, basically that corner there, we need that corner. I've got some spare glass around. Hopefully I don't have to sacrifice the whole tank, but I'm just going to clean this up and then we'll glue it together. Alright guys, so even though I am reaching a new all-time high of cowboyness, I am going to do it properly. Whenever you're gluing tank together, guys, don't cheap out. Buy a tub of acetone. I've built tanks without acetone before because I didn't want to go buy it, and it doesn't work. They fall apart. So you'll see I've got it upside down. That's just because that's the easiest way to get the tops level. And my concrete in here is reasonably level, so these two tanks are different heights. That one's one point. What do you call it? That one's 16 inches, and this one's 14 inches, maybe, something around that. Anyway, point being, I need to make a special base for this. It's all around just a cowboy setup. I definitely don't recommend doing this, guys. Tiny bit of the Bostik silicone left. Hopefully I've got enough to do this. Alright guys, sorry, the water change system just turned on. Hopefully you can still hear me. So obviously in this situation, rule number 1, don't touch the silicone. And on that note, don't touch any surface that you've used acetone on. So pretty much once you acetone a tank, it becomes a non-touch surface. Alright, so these two ends, this end splays out a little bit. So I'm just going to make it kind of even. I could put a packer under that end, but I want to try and keep the tops pretty. Alright, so that end's lower, so I can pack that end a bit. Alright, so I need to get this piece of 3mm core flute under without, there we go, without lifting the tank more than necessary. That brings that front edge up way nicer. Hopefully the top bracing's stuck alright. Obviously I can't clean the inside of the tank while I glue it. So I'm just going to have to scrape it off once it's dry. And there we go guys, it's glued together. So now what's left to do, I have to glue in a blank off piece in that side. We can't use that back now because it cracked. And then I need to make a base for this. So that's like 70mm from there to there. So I probably just use some 70 by 35 treated pine. I might have to think about maybe making 2 rails that way and then 2 rails the whole way that way, and the back of that tank will actually be like floating off the ground maybe. I don't know yet, we'll see what happens. Obviously that corner is like a bit of a wet area because of that leaking window, so I kind of want to make sure that no timber is touching the ground, so that'll be a challenge for me in the next couple of days. Alright guys, let me know what you think, drop a comment. Am I absolutely crazy doing this? I already kind of know the answer to that. And also, like, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes YouTube makes me do things I wouldn't normally do, i.e. smashing the side off a tank and gluing it to another one. I'm not gonna lie, I definitely do expand my horizon to try get videos that no one else has done. But I think it's really cool. It's like motivation for me to do dumb shit. But I'm not going to tell you that I'm not going to lie to you and say that, oh no, this is just what I normally do without YouTube. YouTube is definitely an influence on this project. But I know that I think I can see the comedy side of it. I really think dumb shit like this is entertaining. I'm using the word dumb, but it's actually really practical for the situation. I'm getting every little square, every little cubic millimeter of water in my fish room that I possibly can. Also, think about this guys, I put that tank in there on the ground, that's a bit more of the, that's like a cubic, half a cubic meter or whatever, even less than that, but that's less air that's in the room. Water holds heat better than air. The more tanks are squeezed in the room, the less the temperature fluctuates, the less the aircon has to work, the less electricity I use. And they all still run off that one air pump. So me adding tanks to my fish room, besides the extra lighting, besides the lighting and the food adding tanks actually saves me money. But I think the lighting wouldn't be much because it's like 10 watts of LEDs that's on a sensor that only comes on when I'm in the room. So I definitely think I would save a couple of cents a year by adding a tank. Who knows, who knows. It'd be cool to actually work it out, but it's near impossible without putting like I would need to put a inline power meter on the air conditioner to get the exact numbers, but it's not really on my to-do list. But anyway guys, that's a bit of a ramble at the end of the video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe for more, hit that little red button. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.